all we know is what we have seen from the House GOP is cowardice. When it comes to standing up for the American people, whether it is the outrageous and devastating budget cuts to our healthcare programs, Social Security, veterans benefits, public schools, or whether it is this tax that is being imposed on the American people by these tariffs of $3,800 a year, the House GOP, the Republicans are nowhere to be found. And so I certainly hope that they will find the reason that they should be here, which is to fight for families at home, put people who are not able to afford a house or transportation or grocery bill or childcare first, and make this economy, our tariff system, and certainly our taxation system work for them. That is what we are asking. It's what Dems stand for. We are going to reject this budget resolution coming before us this week that puts the billionaire class over deserving taxpayers and the American families.
President Trump says these tariffs are bringing other countries to the table. Something like 70 countries have now approached the White House, they say, to negotiate. It's giving the U.S. negotiating power to make all sorts of deals. And the goal here is to make Americans rich. What's your response to that?
Yeah, it seems that their so-called strategy changes every single hour, because this isn't a strategy. This isn't about looking how to strengthen our economy and make it work for working people in this country. The 99% who go to work to provide for their families. This is, once again, just a strategy of chaos. And what has resulted in is huge volatility in the stock market, a loss of security from our allies and trading partners that they can trust us. And all of it boils down to, once again, a huge tax increase on consumers and people at home who are already feeling completely stretched with the high cost of living. This was his promise to the American people, that he would bring down the cost of living, and we continue to see him betray that every single day.
White House and the president himself have repeatedly said that there will be short-term pain with this plan, but that it will pay off. Today, we're seeing markets in the green already as they talk about deals. So should Republicans, is it so bad that Republicans in large part are essentially just trusting the president and trying to hold off in fighting against this despite the market sell-offs that we saw as of late?
Yeah, let's look at what the Republicans are trusting him to do. Like I said, his whole campaign was based around saying to working people he'd work for them. He has come in with DOGE and systematically taken away the programs that people rely on and they pay for with their tax dollars. All to do what? To give a huge tax cut to the billionaire class. That is the same playbook, that is the game. And we're seeing it play out in this incredibly painful way. You can't say that you are pro-manufacturing while we have J.D. Vance sitting by while they take away funding that we put into building a steel mill in Ohio. That is not being pro-worker, that is not being pro-manufacturing. We have this chaotic tariff system that is being imposed on the American people, on our economy, has already lost $11 trillion out of our economy since this president took office. And it is all part of a game that he is playing to reward the very wealthiest at the expense of families at home, of people who are working for a living and already feeling like they can't get ahead. So where are the policies on bringing down the cost of groceries, of housing, of helping stabilize energy, of bringing down the cost of childcare? They are non-existent in the GOP because the game is loyalty to Donald Trump, and that's a full stop. And so all of this is taking a huge gamble with families and their budgets. And I am hearing from my small businesses in my district, and Democrats are hearing from across the country that they are not going to make it. I have a small business that makes audio components. He will not survive, be able to keep the jobs that he has created, the business he has built over the last 20 years under these tariffs. These are the real stories and real impacts that we are hearing from families. And the GOP is nowhere to be found in defending them and coming together and working with us to bring an economy that works for everyone, not those who already have great success.